Hello and welcome. It is currently that of the 4th day of May, 2021, 9:53 a.m. Eastern Time. My name is Derek, and this is the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades, and amongst the like, that's each his own risk to their own reward. All right, 57 pennies right now for a single Doji coin. Not that way back when. Had a price in here about a quarter of a penny at the end of in the October last year. And it was even a little higher, like a third of a penny here and a half of a penny up there. Oh, it even got way down to like about 1/7 of a penny. And a long sideways consolidation range. And yeah, the lower end was under a third, like over a quarter or so. And heck, it even got up to over a penny at one point beforehand. Currently, it's 57 cents. So it's had a fantastic move. There's just no bones about that. No, it is what it is. Significant moves within this current run. It just got going here. Then you had to move up to here. Consolidate. Move up to these highs. Consolidate. Move up to this high, consolidate, correct, and now it's just breaking this level of resistance. It's been a full, fierce run to the upside. Way overextended. I mean, it's already gotten well past target levels I thought it was capable of doing. So as I come out here stating, I'd be very surprised if it did much north of $1. And as it goes, at least for myself, I've been playing this aggressively. I do the sellout strategy near the dollar. I'm pretty much going to sell 100% near it as it breaks it. And it was all just a fun trade for me at decent sized stakes, thankfully. When I got into this back, really, I think it was, which move was about? No, it would have been, yeah, it was in the nickel area here. So I'm glad I got into it as it was in this correctionary phase. Now, depending on your strategy. As far as some other people that I know, I stated getting in here before the breakout, sold a little bit at the top area. Now, basically, I'm thinking, okay, it might be a good idea to sell in this area now, like today, maybe about 20 to 25% of what you have. And then when it reaches $1 in that area, even in the 85, 90, 90, whatever cents, more than half of what you got remaining again. I think it's, when you look at the way cryptos are, there's so many coins that have had fantastic moves, and some are earlier than others, later, and whatever. I just think there's going to be many other coins here soon that will overperform Doji, simply because Doji's already had a monstrous move as it is. Key highs, key lows, key high, key low down in here, or key low down in breakout low, high, low, high, and then wherever the low happens to be. If it's productive, maybe it can come and find some support at 2 cents. And that's sick to say. And when you look at this on a log scale, that's just, I mean, you forget what these numbers are. Just look at, okay, where will we come down to? Maybe you can find a higher low here at 6 cents and only lose 80 or 90%. So just think about that for a second. Only lose 80 or 90%, and that's going to happen. And the more this goes up, the higher that number becomes. And it's already went up so much that it's already so high. LITECOIN next against the Bitcoin. What a phenomenal situation that this one's showing. First against the Bitcoin. 0058 is the price. Had this level of resistance coinciding with this level. And in here, clearly, it has taken the resistance it established for a couple days prior, 2 days ago. Or for 2 days ago, if you know what I mean by that. Meaning these 2 days, and that happened 2 days ago. Anyway, it looks to me like it's very probable that it's going to be coming out here. So again, when I've been stating to people, okay, you own Litecoin and you own Doji. Sell Doji, don't sell Litecoin right now. And if you really want to make a play at it, maybe sell Doji for Litecoin, but whatever. And that's something too. When you were looking, you have some coins. Oh man, what do I want to buy? Well, you can get into another pairing or another. Just go through into another coin. One way of looking at it is like make it a free roll for something. Because what happened, at least in the situation, okay, I put in X units, or at least I suggested X units and buy Doji, and then on that first Doji move up, well, you can now technically sell just a little bit because it had like such a monstrous gain, and then buy X amount of the other coin. It was actually 1.1x or 10% more. So okay, so the Doji you have left is free. So now you just it's almost like turning free rolls into your coins. So you take when coins have like 3, 4, 5x gains, whatever, you take bits and pieces of it, you put in another coin, hold it, and then it has a monstrous gain. Then you do the same thing again with it when it has monster gains, and it maybe you have like $5,000 worth of it. Next thing you know, it's worth $50,000. Oh, what do I do with it now? Kind of deal, stuff like that. Anyway, it does look to me as if this thing is ready to go for a decent move. Now, lots of support here on the lower areas, like the 0045 area. And we've had a lot of resistance. It's managed to get up and above 2%, but you know, 1 3/4, 1 2/3, or 0.016, 0.017. Maybe it's going to make a move up to there, because every single time Litecoin has gotten to those levels, look at how it's done it. From this low to the high. Oh, how do you do? From this low to the high. How do you do? Even these small man moves, this one here, I mean, pretty fast, as well as the second wave high move here. So now it looks like it's just barely, for the first time since like late 2018-19, it's making a move above the 18 highs on the monthly after it established such an obvious downtrend range, resisting above the 18 average of lows and supporting below it. Never did break support for a large move, but it did have a decent grind move to the downside, sort of like it did here. And then, of course, what happened after was just yada yada. It does what it does. When you take two asset classes, and successful ones, and then you just happen to divide one's price by the other, which is exactly what this is, Litecoin and Bitcoin divided by each other. If you take Litecoin, divide Bitcoin, you get 0.00584 right now. But you should generally get a choppy up and down range. And when you're using the buy low, sell high strategies that I talk about, that's in the more information box that I've got videos for, then you know you're just going to get some decent sized gains in the long run by increasing the holdings of those coins in which you own. Now on the weekly chart, again, the breakout here looks phenomenal. On the daily term, so far up fantastic today, up 13 2/3 after it was up 8 yesterday. But even going back, we can, what was it in here? No, I guess, no. Okay, I thought I seen, maybe it's a different chart I was looking at where I seen good strength amongst the 18 highs. I don't see it there, at least for the pattern. However, I mean, resistance here, even just this little move in here, how it comes up near, pulls back, and just the concise, clear breakout. Now the area of between 52 to 54 handle, I'm going to be looking as a level of short-term support, and possibly even intermediate term. Well, no. Intermediate support would be like 46 to 50. Okay, Litecoin against the USD. It's at 3 1/4, which is pretty much at the major highest levels over the last many hundreds of days, highs, which is 335.35. Today's high, 327.91, so it's pretty much at it, just 1% from it. I find it very interesting how on April the 23rd, it had a low of $207.10, barely piercing more extra. It is what it is. And then it barely pierced higher on this day. But that's when I talk about how it usually always does extra, it hit it this time, because on the first time it did extra, a second retest, you know what, not as live. And as you've seen on this day, you could as the day was closing, or especially as it was going down at 217 on this day, it was like, eek, looking like it was going to be going to go down bad. At least at least when I say bad, at least another leg lower, which is like going down to like 170ish or so. Of course, it never did it. One thing that I remember learning back when I started day trading for significant stakes was that anytime I thought, well, I mean, how good I was back then, I definitely wasn't as good as I am now, but whenever I had a setup that I thought was damn good, that did not transpire, oh, it was almost like 100% of the time. There was a fast move in the opposite direction that would occur. And I can see here, if you're looking to short, well, there's your fast move that's happened now. It's already done about a 98% retracement from its low to the high. So what does this mean? And there was a lot of resistance here, like bit here, and then it resisted and got above it here between in the end of the second week of April, end of the first week, start of the second week of April, and then hit resistance peak back, and the previous high is 420. This is a lot of strength at the 18 highs, but when you look at it, what you can do is you can see here that there'd be a resistance line that would connect this high with this high with this. I'm not going to draw it in, but you break that sucker. Oh, gee, wow. It would be interesting. It would probably mean close to 4 figures very soon if it breaks that. But for now, it's just a matter of time before it reaches previous high of 420, which was the December 2017 highs of almost 3.5 years ago. It is what it is. And when markets break these levels, they break these levels. Is the market overextended? Yes. Is it way overextended? No. A lot of times when markets have their big moves, they do so with a couple things. One, high volume. Don't see that yet. And number two, monstrous large moves. Like you can see how this big green candle comes up. Big green candles at the end. And you can see the big volume that came up at the end here as well. But so we don't see that big green candle though. So that could tell you, well, when this move is done, are we looking at price action at like 400, 500, 600, or are we looking at much higher? And the more I'm looking at this, it seems to be the latter. Now, that doesn't stop it from this move maybe coming back down on like micro volatility or just not any big moves, and maybe correct within the 18, and then maybe later in the year or the next year it has that move. So whether it does it with a correctionary play or not, I don't know. But it's more live, I think, to not have it. And all the correctionary moves are just going to be short and intermediate term. And we can see here in the intermediate term how it's been very successful amongst the 18 highs. Do I have my targets on here? I think it's like 1,500 or so. Yeah, but I can always recalculate it. Well, the high is 420. That's easy to know. What I want to do is I want to find out. Wait, have I got the numbers in here anyway? Do I not? Yeah. No, I don't. No, I don't. I want to take the 61.8% from this high to this low, going down. I want this high divided by that number around here to the exponent of 1.618, multiply this low again, which is going to be near 10, 12 or whatever. So what would be the best low to pick? And I've done this so many times, I've always forgotten. I thought the answer was about 1,500 as an up target. I mean, monster support here at about 368. And then we go down here, though. 350. Let's go 360. I'm going to bring my calculator up now. So we'll do pennies. So 442,000 pennies divided by 360 pennies would bring us down to like $22, I guess. So let's just do it for normal dollars here. So 420 and $22.18. We'll do $22. So 420 divided by 22 to the exponent of 1.618 multiply 22. It's 25. I was off by 1,000. My memory. That's just my memory right there. Knew that 15 was a key number. So an up target about, and it usually pierces extra, so you're talking $3,000. That's an up target for Litecoin. It is what it is. Markets will do what the markets will do. Markets don't care what your portfolio shows, and only price pays. Now, what those words mean to you, it's up to you. And again, everything you do is your own risk, your own reward. Because it's a numbers game. And again, the market is just, it doesn't have a conscience. Well, it's not alive. In a human sense, it's humans making their bids, putting their orders in. And when you're doing the same thing, you're just one of many thousands and tens and hundreds of, however many people it is, hundreds of thousands, doing the exact same thing. Now I'll finish this video off with then BTC. Yeah, it's just holding in there. Correcting amongst the 18 average on the weekly, but it's not the 18 average of highs, just still holding in there. I would like to see this range for a while, maybe between like whatever range number, but for the other, like 40,000 to here, or like 50,000 to 60, or 55 to 65, or whatever, or just set between that, somewhere in this area. That's what I would personally like to see it do. Again, markets will do what they do, and I'll just react to whatever the occurrences happen to be. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.